second best.
Quiet weather and a warming trend. Eastern Canada, Western Canada, two big storms on this Wednesday. This is your national forecast. There are wind and rain and snow warnings, and they're appearing on your screen as a red banner. As far as the pattern is concerned, this week it's all coming from the west, from the Pacific. Rain in green, alpine snow is picking up, onshore flow, gusty winds, but mainly a rainmaker for BC, and it will ease in intensity through Thursday and Friday before the next low moves in. Oh, by the way, we've also got some blizzard warnings as well. Quite a collection of red banners on your screen right now with more on the first prairie storm. It's been quite 24 hours in Alberta, and today Saskatchewan and Manitoba so far taking the brunt of the winds, but the temperatures are on the rise as well. It is an up and a down again kind of a pattern across the prairies. Nice summary from Aaron there. Jet stream coming down. Temperatures have come down over 10 degrees compared to yesterday's highs in Alberta. Thankfully, the winds have come down a bit as well. They'll surge again up to 20 or so this week. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and fluctuations for Alberta as well. Fluctuations for Eastern Canada, calmer and warm. That's not so bad. It's interesting. We've got strong winds in Manitoba. South, it's mild. North, it is a blizzard. Churchill, there are warnings across the north. Come from northern Manitoba, across Hudson Bay, down towards the lower Great Lakes. And look at this, southernmost point in Canada, down towards Point Pelee and up through Ottawa, Gatineau, and around Kingston and Bobcaygeon being so fondly remembered today, along with Gord Downey, of course. Sunshine and warm temperatures. That's Saturday. That's Sunday. Here's your local weather right now. From southern Saskatchewan all the way back through southern BC, 120 to 140 kilometer an hour winds. The peak wind gusts on Tuesday. That will cause a lot of damage, whether it's roof shingles, whether it's tree limbs, whether it's fencing or construction sites. It's been a tough couple of days here, and the damaging wind potential continues today in northern Saskatchewan and northern Manitoba. It is Wednesday. The winds have been gusting 70, 80 kilometers an hour since early morning time. Parts of the prairies, the winds will gradually die down as that low, there's the center, moves off across Hudson Bay over the next 24 hours or so. Meanwhile, it's a windy and wet day across BC, particularly concerned about the heavy rain here. Vancouver, taking a look at conditions, clearing leaves from catch basins. That's an important thing to do at this time of year. And maybe get your skis ready, because there's a lot of snow falling in the mountains. Although the big push of milder air aloft with this Pacific storm coming ashore today will push the freeze levels up towards the peaks. They'll come down towards the Roundhouse level and Whistler and down, not to valley floor level, but still with the colder air fluctuating and colder overnight lows. This is a heavy snowfall event for October, what ski hills would call a really strong start. Likely to be less than a meter through the Columbias and the Rockies, but over a meter of snow possible as an accumulation this week for British Columbia. So enjoy the prospect, and have a look at web cameras on our website, and you'll see some of the evidence of the snow at some of the higher terrain only. Gusty, a little bit breezy out of the southwest. So Thursday, and it was a little bit windy yesterday, a lot of leaves blowing around southern Ontario. There's a system crossing the Atlantic provinces today, and so that's bringing a little bit of cloud cover and an onshore flow and a few spritzes of showers in the Maritimes and around the Gulf of St. Lawrence. That heads off to sea. You can see the stronger winds there. Our temperatures come down a degree or two, but it's not really much of a cold front. So 19 for Friday for Toronto, 15 Montreal, 17 Halifax. A warmer day for St. John's. Today's a relatively cool day, single-digit highs. And then look at this, 18 and 21. Calgary, 11. That's where you're at today. You'll recover a bit for tomorrow. Saturday, cooler air starting to take shape. That's our next low for British Columbia. Temperatures climbing into the 20s, but for how long at this time of year? Well, stick around. The latest long ranger coming up next segment. The Weather Watch continues. Wednesday, it's the 18th day of October. We are charging towards Halloween, and boy, have we got some fall storms in the west today. I'm just thankful that no one's trick-or-treating tonight. This is an area where we're seeing blizzard conditions. northern Manitoba. Yeah, and the winds here in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, gusts 60, 80, 90 kilometers an hour. And a big rain and snowstorm for BC. More rain, big push of mild air, snow to follow, a few showers in Atlantic Canada. Warming, sunny day with a bit of a breeze in southern Ontario ahead of that cold front. These winds here lowering visibility. I've been checking in with Churchill today. Something we haven't seen for a while, quarter statute mile visibility. That means that the visibility is down to about 400 meters, or about a half a K. That's not great. It looks and feels like winter with the winds howling and the snow flying. Better conditions, calmer for Thursday. A little gusty in the southern foothills today, more localized and not quite as impressively strong as yesterday. But some of the specific energy, drenching rains for the west coast today, gusty winds southern Alberta. Long Ranger looking ahead now. Well, it's good to have you here. We love having our daily conversation with you. It's fantastic to welcome you from wherever it happens to be, whether it's Dauphin or Yorkton. These are places right now that have been, seeing some very powerful wind gusts build up through the morning. 60, 70, 80, 90 kilometers an hour. There are widespread wind warnings. It's a cold wind blowing around the snow that's falling in northern Manitoba, Churchill, over towards Lynn Lake, Thompson, a little bit further south for most of the active weather. 30 centimeters likely to fall here. Could see a few centimeters further south. Irma, Alberta, wasn't the snow that was flying around. Fires, grass fires, brush fires blew out of control yesterday. Very quickly they grew. Alberta and Saskatchewan. During the time of peak wind gusts, late afternoon, early evening, there were 2 train derailments that we're aware of. Being investigated, of course. Were there other factors at play apart from the winds? And the wind gust forecast today, you'll see through the afternoon and evening that it does pick up yet again, 70, 80, 100 kilometers an hour. More localized, not the same kind of energy. The main storm has moved to the north, but to the west, there's another big storm in BC, and I'll go there in a second. I want to show you briefly the southwest wind here. That will help take temperatures back up for some of us in the prairies, back into the 20-degree range. Check your local forecast. There's lots going on. My goodness, there are red banners on the screen saying blizzard warning for Churchill, rainfall warning for the Howe Sound. Around Squamish, yeah, it's coming down, and wind warnings for so many across the prairies. The east is quiet. No warnings there, not even a frost warning I can tell you about. Beautiful day, sunshine, opposite here. Active weather continues this week. An atmospheric river, favorable setup in the atmosphere when we see a big push of strong winds aloft, so a strong jet stream that helps to fuel storm development, and an abundance of moisture coming ashore. Now, unfortunately, not as far south as California so desperately needs it. Some showery weather, more rain, significant amounts, Oregon, Pacific Northwest, Washington, and especially BC. And Saturday morning, want to highlight that as your next area or timing or window of concern for winds in Alberta. As far as BC is concerned, today's storm is more of a big rain event rather than wind. And precipitation, there'll be more snow tonight, and more snow with our second low as the freeze levels fluctuate. A low comes in, it brings in a lot of warm air, freeze levels rise, then they drop again, and snow. A changeover from rain. No snow nor rain. Dry and warm look at Saturday in Ontario, and Sunday, enjoy while it lasts. Damage and cleanup and grass and brush fires that really erupted yesterday with the existing hotspots in Alberta and Saskatchewan. So debris went flying around, flames moved. Some trucks toppled over as well. Trains, a couple derailed in Alberta at a time of gusty winds. And as we look at today, southern Alberta, well, look at your area of interest here. Powerful fall storm, widespread wind warnings, all 3 prairie provinces. The winds will be picking up again, especially south of Calgary, 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. More localized there, more widespread here. What a windy day it's been already. South, central, and northern areas. And if we go to the north of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, that's where we're seeing some snowfall. On that rain-snow line for Thompson through the afternoon, there's the cooler air wrapping in, lesser amounts out towards Churchill. Worst hit areas, 30 centimeters, and that will roll across Hudson Bay and off through northern Quebec and Ungava Bay. This is normal this time of year, but it doesn't make it any more pleasant. Sometimes it's an abrupt transition. Sometimes it's a real stormy transition. Looking at the winds here, diminishing somewhat and then picking up again Saturday with our next low. The south coast, the north coast, damaging wind gust potential, especially as we head further north. And, of course, ferry disruptions possible when we get our storm system. This is what we would highlight as a very moisture-laden system. So it's a rainstorm, it's a snow story, and a snowstorm as well for the peaks, not for the low-lying areas, but there will be some snow, I think, down at pass level in the next couple of days. We've got to wait for the colder air to wrap in behind the low. Today, we're in the midst of it, so the warm air push, the wind as well, not especially warm, but relatively speaking, and warm aloft. And the rain, with all of that lift in the mountains, we're looking at 100 millimeters of rain. Certainly likely to see that over the next couple of days. Maybe not quite that much just today for Squamish and Howe Sound, but you know how those winds funnel up along the sea to sky, and tremendous rain as a result, and a lot of snow as well this week. So that's the story for BC and the Prairie provinces. The east is really warming up, and you know, people taking advantage. Let's find out how long it's going to stick around. You know, I don't like the sound of below seasonal, but it is pretty typical at this time of year. In the meantime, thanks, Kelly, let's enjoy the windy warmth as much as possible. The center of our big prairie low heads up towards Ungava Bay, as I mentioned. No blizzard conditions for Mont Laurier or for Ottawa-Gatineau. You can send us your photos and videos. We love it when you do. The fall weather, the temperature shift, but the weekend's coming up. So get out, enjoy, and share your photos. A lot of debris flying around, and still some air quality concerns where we have blowing dust and blowing debris, and also some smoke being moved around, of course, by gusty winds. Yesterday, they were at peak 100 to 140 parts of BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Yeah, up to 140. Let's check in with a recap before we go ahead, shall we? Tough work, right? No matter what the weather, no matter what the conditions, first responders out there. Thankful that we haven't heard of any serious injuries. Certainly there were economic losses and personal losses for property, and delays and disruptions, and the strong winds are continuing as we track this powerful fall storm rapidly intensifying yesterday, today, continuing to intensify, stabilizing somewhat in its intensity as it heads further east. Hasn't started its weakening yet, and those winds are not really going to weaken until overnight into tomorrow as the low slowly moves away. Overnight from west to east, so don't look for any immediate improvements for Churchill. Blowing snow, low visibility today. And we'll be back to snow overnight, some of the high terrain. Rain pelting down today, moderate to heavy at times tonight. Tomorrow, maybe a little lighter and starting to transition towards showers for the coast. Sunshine for the interior, very limited. Don't think you'll be seeing any on Thursday, but we will be seeing a little bit of a breather once this low goes through before the next big storm comes in, and that's for Saturday. Conditions Eastern Canada, you know, Saturday is going to be pretty good. 19s and 21s, Windsor, Toronto, Sunshine, Montreal, Timmins, Northern Ontario. This is looking great. We've got a weak front crossing Atlantic Canada, so the temperature is coming down just a bit. Let me show you what I mean. A weak cold front. This says Thursday, Friday on it, so that's our next low. There are a couple showers today as well. High pressure for Ontario. The cold front with the prairie low causing the blizzard conditions in Manitoba as that low goes up towards Iqaluit. Cooler air will be drawn in. Temperatures much further south may drop off a degree or two, but that's a degree or two. Hey, Winnipeg, 21. Good for you. A little bit windy to start the day. Saturday, Calgary. Wet weather, another storm for BC, the third this week. Your local weather has a whole lot more right now.